Let us have a hands-on demonstration for probability distribution in risk management. For this purpose, I am going to use two software tools. One is MS Project for the development of the project plan. Another is Primavera Risk Analysis for the demonstration of probability distribution. So as you can see, first we have this MPP file, which is MS Project Plan. And here we have the plan as well as many phases, sub-phases, milestone as well as activities for the project. We also have the duration. And this plan is saved as site development project plan.mpp. Next, I took this MPP file and imported to Primavera Risk Analysis software. To import, you have to use File menu, then go to Microsoft Project and select Open Project to import the project. After the project is imported, you have to save it as a plan, which will be site development project plan.plan. As you can see, now we have site development project plan.plan. I'm going to double click here so that we have a larger view and hence a better visualization. So as I opened it, as you can see, all the activities, the milestones, the phases, the sub-phases have got imported to Primavera Risk Analysis software. Next to this, we have the Gantt chart view, and after that we have minimum, most likely and maximum duration for the activities of the project. So if I select individual activities, it will show you these values. But right now these values are not available because we do not have any risk analysis conducted. To have the initial risk analysis, I'll go to the risk menu here and I'm going to select duration quick risk. So duration quick risk can be applied to all tasks, all filtered tasks or selected tasks. I'm going to select all tasks in the plan. The distribution for our project can be beta put or it can be triangle, uniform or enhanced. I'm going to select beta put. The minimum duration is 75% of the remaining duration. Likely is 100%. Maximum is 125%. I am going to use these values. You can change it. Say instead of 75, you can put it as 80. This is 100. This is 120. Or this can be 90. This can be 100. This can be 110 and so on. I'm going to continue with 75, 100 and 125 and I'm going to say OK. As I did that, as you can see, we have minimum, most likely and maximum duration that has got applied. But you cannot know what kind of distribution is applicable or has been applied for the activities of the project. For that purpose, we are going to go to the risk inputs here. Under risk inputs, I'll go to risk and uncertainty. Then I'll select duration uncertainty. First, we have to select a task and we have to go to duration uncertainty to find out what kind of distribution that is applied. As you can see, here we have beta put applied. And here also we have beta put as the duration function. 4, semicolon 5, semicolon 6, which are minimum, most likely and the maximum values. Instead of beta put, you can have also other distribution. Not only that, you can also have individual activities modeled differently. For example, instead of here beta put, for this particular activities or a set of activities, you want to have another kind of distribution. So let us come here. So here we can go to beta put. Instead of beta put, I am going to select this drop down menu. The drop down menu is going to tell you what is the other possible options available. So instead of beta put, we can apply triangle. Now as I said triangle, now you have the probability distribution getting applied is triangle. Now I do not need this remaining cost or cost, so I'm going to remove these columns. So I'll customize these fields for this visualization. I'm going to select on top, then right click and say format columns. And here we do not need the task existence, so I'll remove. Then remaining cost related items, so I'm going to remove them as well. Then I'll go to the risk inputs and I'm going to have the duration function as well as we are going to have the duration distribution. So I'm going to say insert it and I'm going to say OK. Now as I did that, as you can see, the duration function is coming up as well as duration risk distribution, which is basically the probability distribution is coming up. So right now it is triangle. Similarly, I can change from triangle to another one. So let us say uniform. I can go for uniform. Now for uniform, you have the minimum and the maximum, but without any most likely value. And as I said some time before, depending on the nature and the type of the task, you can have different kind of modeling or different kind of modeling with respect to probability distribution. After you have modeled the tasks with respect to probability distribution, then you run a complete risk analysis. And this in turn is going to impact the schedule of the project. And you are going to have a more realistic schedule, the schedule which is risk adjusted. And that is the fundamental use of probability distribution. you are not considering the most likely scenario. You are considering a large number of possible scenarios, and based on that you are running a risk analysis and you are getting a more realistic schedule. So probability distribution for a task with respect to its task duration estimate is a representation for the uncertainty of the task. Now when you consider the uncertainty, you are considering the risks associated with the task. And when you have considered the risk associated with all the tasks or the activities of the project and you are running a risk analysis, you are getting a risk adjusted schedule for the entire project.